Hi, this is Ashley Victoria Robinson coming to you live from the Popverse, a virtual realm created by ReadPop. We are here for Enter the Popverse episode 4. It's definitely take 1. And I want to let you know that we are at Emerald City Comic Con in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. If you are in the Pacific Northwest, you probably know that. If you're not, and maybe you're not at Emerald City Comic Con, we wanted to make sure that we brought you a ton of fun stuff to keep you occupied. So, a couple things. If you go to thepopverse.com, we have a full slate of panels that we are streaming free and live to you all convention long. We have a ton of great video content. We have a ton of great written content. We have interviews, and we have a lot of great social content over on not the Popverse. Popverse Says. The website is the Popverse. The social is Popverse Says. If you want to have the full virtual Emerald City Comic Con experience, of course, make sure you get yourself a Popverse membership. That gets you access to all of the wonders that we are undertaking over there at Emerald City Comic Con. But we didn't want to miss an episode of Enter the Popverse, so we are doing a celebratory Emerald City Comic Con edition of Enter the Popverse, where we are telling you everything you need to know to have the best possible convention experience. Whether or not you are a veteran convention goer and you want to make sure that you are refining your game as much as possible, maybe you haven't attended a convention in a little while. There were some reasons why we weren't going to conventions for a bit, or if Emerald City Comic Con is your first convention or your first convention is coming up, we want to make sure that we are sharing all of the best tips and tricks so that you can have the best possible experience. Now, I couldn't do that on my own, so I am going to bring in my very favorite person, an absolute doll. She's so beautiful. She's so talented. Miss Illianna Gonzalez-Soto is joining us today. I said driving to us.
Oh God, no.
Joining us today. Hi, Illianna. Welcome to the Popverse.
Hello. Although driving to you specifically, since you're only like 2 hours away from me, that's not that bad,
Only if traffic is really, really good, though.
Exactly. But hi, how are you? How are you doing?
Man,
Pre-ECCC / when we're airing, we're going to be running around.
I don't know if it's more stressful now pre-ECCC or if it will be running around the convention floor. It's hard to say.
Yeah, they're different kinds of stresses. I'm gonna just put that out there. I'm like, we're busy prepping though. We're gonna give you the best ECCC ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Illianna, for anybody who doesn't know, let us know what you do for Popverse and why you are also going to be running around ECCC.
All the C's. Yes, I am actually the marketing coordinator for both Popverse and the Hall. So both are ReadPop companies, I guess I should say. And I am basically the social media person. So I'll be running around collecting all of the fan experiences, the celeb interviews, backstage, behind the scenes content, like anything exciting on the convention floor, I will be capturing for you. And that means me running around like a crazy woman. So
yes. Illianna is also the reason why I know how to make reels or edit reels or am trying. So she deserves a lot of credit for all the heavy lifting that she does inside the social media sphere of the Popverse wing of the ReadPop experience. But Illianna, I brought you here for your expertise as a convention attendee. So I want to ask you, what is in your bag? Now, you and I are from Southern California, and we're flying to Seattle. So not your big bag that you check on the plane, but what is in your everyday bag that you are bringing to the convention? What are your key items?
Yes. Well, I am so glad you asked me to come on here and do this, because I know this is airing like when we're there, but like now I can have everything prepped. So I'm very excited to show you. I can't ever leave the house without like fresh reading material. I'm a big book lover. I love YA books. I'm barely getting into the comic book space, so I haven't delved into this yet, but it's like the Amazing Spider-Man Eminem variant. And so I'm super excited to hopefully read that when I get a minute at Emerald City. And I actually bought this on the Hall, so you can go and find more exclusive variant editions that we drop here and there throughout the year. So make sure you stay tuned to shop the Hall on all of our social media websites to like be prepared for any exclusive comic drops that we have in partnership with Hustle.
Yes, and that comic I feel like kind of broke the internet when it was
Oh
announced.
my
It
gosh.
was huge.
This definitely broke the internet. I kind of don't want to open it because for fear of like, I don't know, breaking the internet some more, but like I definitely want to read it. So I'm gonna keep going.
So maybe on
Um,
the plane if you're really lucky.
yeah, exactly. And then it has been cold, very cold, and we are both in Southern California, and I am just like not a winter person,
No.
but Chris Arrant has like cursed us all with potential snow in Seattle, and so I gotta be staying warm. And because we go to so many conventions, I'm bringing all my convention gear with me. So in my bag, I'm gonna have my NYCC alumni hoodie crew neck thingy mabobber. It is very soft on the inside, and I love it so much. So definitely got to bring that.
I like to
And
see
then
you repping all of the shows. One show at another show. You got to wear ECCC to NYCC this year.
marketing coordinator over here. Gotta represent it all. Okay.
There you go.
And then I couldn't like go to a convention without bringing my Pedro Pascal Mandalorian shirt.
Yes.
So I am so hyped for season 3. I guess it's gonna air like when we're at Emerald City. I
Are
will
you
be
going to watch it on the hotel Wi-Fi?
I mean, I am going to try. If that thing doesn't cut out, I will be watching Pedro Pascal. I'll be watching Grogu. I will be watching it all. So most definitely. Plus, it's going to be out by the time we also arrive at Star Wars Celebration Europe. So like, gotta watch it to
How
be
many
prepared.
how many tiny Grogrus are you Easter egging in the background right now?
Just actually 3. You can't see that, but that's my little Funko Pop.
Just
And
3, only 3.
3, like I'm not obsessed or anything,
Casual.
you know. I love Grogu, so cute.
He's the
Um,
best.
and then also Emerald City is gonna have a prom, and I am so excited. It's been so cute seeing all the little promposals happening on social media. So you should definitely follow Emerald City Comic Con on all the social media as well because it's just been so cute. So the theme is under the sea, under the ECCC, and so I'm bringing a cute little dress. It
So
is
cute.
really cute. It's got like little mermaids on it from Peter Pan,
Oh my
and so I thought it'd be perfect for the theme. And I'm thinking of wearing like my combat boots with like a long black top, going a little bit grunge. As you can see, grunge is kind of like my style. So I gotta also represent my what is it, Nightmare Before Christmas little shirt that I got
It's
as
giving
well.
very Jen Ortega, though. It's very Wednesday. I know it's
I
different
love
brand owners, but
yes. And you can find a lot of Jenna Ortega content also on our socials as well. So you should definitely check that out. And
I also want to say, Illianna, maybe this should be my promposal to be like, let's take the awkward prom photo together while we're there.
But yes, like I would love
Here,
to go to prom with you.
here's a Snoopy.
Oh,
Would you come to prom? I didn't go to my prom, so this will be quite something.
oh my god. I went with my best friend, my best girlfriend, and we had the best time. And so I would love to have the whole prom experience with you. Yes. Let's
Okay, we got to take a picture. We got to post it on the socials.
Oh yeah. Just everyone be on the lookout for our awkward prom picture.
Alrighty, what else you got? What do you got?
Okay, so the final thing for clothes, because like I gotta pack my whole wardrobe basically.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
I got all of these things on the haul. Basically, half my wardrobe is the haul because we have like exclusive lines there from Her Universe, Kiki Tiki, like hustle variants. So it's a really good one-stop shop for like basically your online convention shop. So I think everyone should go check it out. And then also, in case you missed it, Tenoch Huerta is coming to C2E2. So, like, I'm a die. That's Namor. That's the Submariner.
He's
I'm a pass.
so handsome. He's
Handsome.
talented too, or whatever, but he's very handsome.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm just gonna pass away at C2. Don't mind me. And then, of course, we have like all the like little knickknacks that go in my bag as well. We have one of the most important things I think is like electrolytes, because
Yes.
you've got to stay hydrated, people. Please, 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 please stay hydrated. So I have electrolytes. I have, as the marketing coordinator, I got to bring my tiny mic. She is so cute. Yes, we are so excited to finally have a little tiny mic to capture all the fan content, celeb content, backstage content. We need a tiny mic for that.
Friends,
So
I need you to know too, the saga to get the tiny mic was epic. It was long. It is hard won. And Illianna is trying to make Popverse happen. So if you have doggies that are coming to conventions with you, especially cosplaying doggies, please find Illianna. This is what she looks like. She's very, very nice. So that we can interview your doggies with the tiny mic.
with the like, how cute would that be? Dogs in cosplay and just Popverse, please make it happen, people. Bring your dogs to Emerald City.
Please do.
Yeah, and then you reminded me earlier, please bring comfy shoes. These are my old beat up
Yes.
Nikes. Like, I just bring comfy tennis shoes. Like, I really recommend it. I know you want to be cute and everything and aesthetic with your cosplays, but if you're going for a day, even like just a few hours at a convention, your feet are gonna be hurting. And I also recommend wearing compression socks with your shoes, because that will help you a ton. So that's the main things that are in my bag.
I want to ask you, because I know that the look is a very, very well put together look. Like I said, it's giving Wednesday Addams. Can you show us the details on it?
Oh,
I
yes,
know there's
yes, yes.
details on
So,
both of the shirts.
yes, of course, of course. So I am wearing the Nightmare Before Christmas shirt. It's like got these little cute, like, I don't know what these are. It's a very cute collar, and it's got all the little points like Jack Skellington, and I love it. And then my little friend here, Zero, I don't know if you guys can see, but like,
Yes.
so cute, keeping me company on my little collar. And then we have Jack Skellington on his famous hill. I don't know, rolling over the pumpkin patches. So that's part of the Her Universe, Her Universe line on the hall. Her Universe is run by Asaka Tano, voice actress Ashley Eckstein. So please, please, please be sure to go check that out. And of course, please follow the Popverse on all of our social media websites, because we are actually Popverse Says on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and then the Popverse on YouTube. So like, follow, subscribe, I beg you.
Oh, my darling Illianna, I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Popverse today. Before I let you go, do you want to let people know where they can follow you personally and maybe coordinate puppy content with?
Yes, yes. Please send me all your dog content. I am Illianna G. Soto on Twitter and Instagram, so you can find me there.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I also want to remind everyone that if you missed it last year, I made an Instagram reel where I shared you everything that was in my bag as I was preparing to go to New York City Comic Con. It's the same rule for Emerald City Comic Con. So why don't we check it out right now? See, echoing Illianna, bringing the warmest glows absolutely humanly possible, because it is going to be so freaking cold in Emerald City. I also want to let you know that convention essentials is a very personal subject. Every single person has different convention essentials that they absolutely need to bring with them. But we have a lot of great advice for new time viewers over on thepopverse.com. So I want to show you something really quickly right now. We have this great piece on the Popverse from Lauren Sisselman. It came out last year, and it's a great take, breaking it down category by category about what you should bring to a convention. She starts with clothing and then goes into cosplay. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the cosplay of it all. if you don't know, which I'm sure you do, the Cosplay Crown Championships is happening at Emerald City Comic Con. It's a great competitive cosplay series that we do across the Reed Pop shows. And we welcome cosplay, of course, at every level. By the way, you can stream that if you go over to thepopverse.com, as it is live airing and it will live there forever. You can watch it in the future. But if you're considering doing cosplay for the first time at Emerald City Comic Con and you're not quite sure what to bring, I really, really recommend this section of our Convention Essentials article by Lauren. It has a lot of great hot tips. I want to point some of them out to you right now. Hot glue gun. Make sure you have a hot glue gun, especially if this is your first time making a custom costume. Maybe your craftsmanship is something that you're working on. There are a lot of really great cosplay repair sections hosted by us and independent, like people who just show up to help. But if you are in a pinch, a hot glue gun is going to be your absolute best friend. I mean, to quote Ben de la Creme, who we interviewed last year at Emerald City Comic Con, this garment is made with hot glue and desperation. And that will hold together a lot more cosplay than you might initially think. Another great thing, if you have the space for it, is a portable sewing machine. That is for big repairs. That is great for props. That will also make you a hero to all of your fellow cosplayers around you. If they need a fix, you can provide this for them. I only recommend doing this if you are comfortable working on a sewing machine, because sewing machines are complicated and they are fickle. An easier suggestion, of course, is a small sewing kit, something that you can get at a Ralph's or you can get at a CVS. Just keep that in your pocket in case of tears or seams coming undone. Whoop, 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 whoop. Fix it up with a nice hem stitch and you will be all good to go. Yes, she can hem. Also, a portable steamer. Once again, a portable steamer, that is a big ass. That is a big accessory. But if you have one, whether it's going to live in your hotel room or if you have the space for it on your person, those are the types of things that will really clinch your cosplay and make it look professional and make it look stand out. So I really want to recommend those 4 items: hot glue gun, portable sewing machine, a sewing kit, and a portable steamer if you are out here getting your cosplay life for the very first time. Lauren also goes into accessories, things like chargers, things like headphones, things like a rolly cart if you're going to go and get your books signed or slabbed or anything like that. Gadgets, of course, you can't go to a convention and not have tech. Look at those fancy headphones. I want fancy Switch headphones like that. Definitely want to shout out screen protectors and OtterBox cases. My phone that I use for all things Popverse is in an OtterBox because I need it. First aid is a really, really great section here. There is, of course, first aid services available at any and all conventions all over the world and should be taken advantage of if you really need them. The same thing with accessibility options and monitors and things like that. But first aid is something that can really creep up on you. That's why when Illianna talked about water and hydrating and making sure that you are looking after yourself and getting around, the first aid section is also echoing all of that. These are great things, particularly in a time of COVID, to make sure that you and everyone else attending is as safe as possible. Product protection, that's going to change according to your needs based on what you get, along with hydrating. Don't forget that you have food. Bring food in your bag. Let me make my face big and say it again. Bring food in your bag. You are going to need it. You will starve. Convention food can be expensive, and sometimes other restaurants are not in the convention center. You have to leave the convention center to get to them. Sometimes the line for food trucks outside of convention centers are long. So please, I'm begging you, bring food to a convention. I always have fruit in my bag. Whatever works for you, bring your food. Hygiene, I think that kind of goes along with the first aid, but please make sure that you have everything you need to keep yourself as clean and safe as possible on your person. And then don't forget, the don't forget section is kind of my favorite section. Lauren goes over things like Sharpies and a lot of fun small accessories that you might not think you need for a convention, but are paramount. So I also want to put this call out. If you are cosplaying at Emerald City Comic Con and you see anyone from Team Popverse running around, we want to take your photo. So stop us and ask us to take your photo because we love doing cosplay galleries. If you are cosplaying for the first time at Emerald City Comic Con, share your photos with us at Popverse Says, because we want to celebrate your creativity and your fan participation in these incredible arts. Okay, we have chatted about what is in my bag. So now you have made it to the convention floor, and I have to bring in another expert to talk about how to navigate the convention floor Is it as scary as I think it is? What are the best strategies? So please join me in welcoming back to Enter the Popverse, Veronica Valencia. Hi, Veronica.
Hello. Hello,
How
everyone.
are you today? How are you imaginarily doing at Emerald City Comic Con?
I am good, and I am stoked imaginarily to be at Emerald City Comic Con and then actually at Emerald City Comic Con.
I know we are running around doing all kinds of fun things on the convention floor, on the stages. If you see Veronica, say hello to her. She's really nice, and this is what she looks like. So, Veronica, we're spending today like refreshing people who haven't been to a convention in a while or letting people know who've never been to a convention everything they need to know to have the best experience possible. You do more at a convention than anybody else I know. So, I wanted to bring you on to talk about navigating the convention floor because, especially at somewhere like Emerald City Comic Con, it can seem overwhelming. So, for people who are walking into a convention center this weekend for the first time, and they are so overstimulated, what is your best advice for them?
The best advice going into any show, it doesn't matter how big or how small, is to really know what you want to do, what
Mhm.
you individually want to do. If you want to do panels, then it's probably best you look up the panel schedule and know exactly what times each panel start. If you just want to go around and look at the show floor and buy things, that's a little bit more casual. You'll have a lot of time to do that. If you want autographs, you have to make sure that those are bought and you get in line when you're supposed to. So it's the best advice I can give when entering to a convention, if it's your first time or even if you're a veteran, is really just know what you want to get most out of when you go to a show.
So
For
when
sure.
you're planning a convention, whether you're attending or running the whole show, do you recommend people visiting the website, downloading the app, checking out the guidebook that they give you? Do you think that's the best approach? Do you think it's better to know before or when your boots on the ground?
Oh, definitely going into it knowing before. You can check
Mhm.
out the website, you can check out the social media, and you can also download the app. All of those are going to be very helpful in giving schedules and having like frequently asked questions if there's any confusion. Those are definitely going to help you build what you want to do once you get there. Because trying to get on the ground and then just say, I'm going to go and do this, it might be kind of difficult, especially if, like, let's say you want to get into the big panel of that day.
Mhm.
That panel might have a huge line that maybe you have to line up like 30 minutes beforehand, maybe longer, depending on what it is. I've been to many a show where there's really long lines before a show even starts. And then sometimes it's a main stage panel that you can just walk into. So you really just have to get an idea. If panels are what you want to go to, definitely carve out some time beforehand to just go scope out the line. If there's a line, maybe jump in it so that way you can get into the panel room. If there's not, maybe you can kind of pass some time by doing something else and come back later. But again, if that's really what you want to do, it's always best to just carve out some time so that way you don't miss what you're looking forward to the most.
So if you've planned out your panels and you've planned out the autographs that you want to get, or maybe the photo ops that you want to get, do you have any recommendations on a line etiquette or maybe how to entertain yourself? Because some of those lines are quite heroic.
For sure. Um, headphones definitely always is really good etiquette. There are so many people around you. There's a lot of conversations happening. Definitely have headphones if you want to like listen to music or a podcast or something else on your phone. Also, like it's also kind of nice so that there's not just like loud volume of things going off. There's also if you buy a digital ticket from Popverse, you can also probably watch other panels while you're waiting in line. Maybe it was a panel you kind of wanted to watch, but maybe didn't decide not to go to it, but you were kind of interested. Stream it while you're waiting in line. Um, Definitely comfortable shoes. Always recommend comfortable shoes because you will be standing and you think like, oh man, Vans are comfortable on me. I can definitely stay in Vans the entire time. No, no, I've learned that the hard way. Your feet will be tired. So comfortable shoes for sure. And yeah, like headphones, listening to stuff on your phone, potentially watching other panels, comfortable shoes. If you're with a friend, You can chat with your friend. Yeah,
Are you
it's
a
just
make friends in line person?
am I a make friends in
Yeah, like,
line?
are you brave?
Oh,
I'm not brave enough to chat with strangers in line, but I was like, I know that's something that people like to do, like befriend people in line, and then you have like a con buddy for the rest of the convention.
Oh, for sure. I don't necessarily know if I've ever like had a very long conversation when I waited in line, but
Yeah.
if there's someone next to me and I see that they have like a cool cosplay or they're wearing some kind of article of clothing that is like inspired by, a pattern in comics or anime or something like that, I might just be like, "Hey, that's really cool." And that kind of starts a conversation. Or sometimes like you're so close to people in line, you're not intentionally doing it, but sometimes you'll overhear conversations. And if
Mhm.
they're talking about something that's really cool and that you would be like, "Hey, yeah, I kind of want to talk about that," I don't think it's necessarily wrong to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop," but like, that's really cool. Like, I like this thing too.
So when you've made it to the convention floor, you're gonna go, you're gonna get your shopping done. What's your best advice for how to navigate that? Because it is so bright, it is so overwhelming. Or do you have a way that you go through the convention center? Do you start at Artist Alley? Do you start at the shopping? Hit me with all of that.
So for some reason, at every show that I've gone to, I have always started just walking the floor and specifically walking like the exhibitor floor. So all of the big booths and then stuff like that, and then heading on to Artist Alley. So walking the floor can be the I don't want to say smaller thing, but like the easier thing to do, in that you
Yeah.
just have free reign to kind of walk and take everything in and see everything. That being said, depending on the size of the show, there can be a lot of people and it might be hard to get into some of those little alleyways. So definitely I would say do the floor first, because generally speaking in the morning, that's when it'll be a little less crowded. Again, depending on the size of the show. And then for me specifically, because I'm someone who sees something and like, ooh, I want that all the time. Something I recommend is like, take a good look at the show floor, take a good look at Artist Alley, try and see everything that you could possibly want to see and then buy. Sometimes you might see something at a booth that you're like, "Ooh, I want that," and you want that, and by all means get it in that moment. But for me, I personally like to see everything, and then make my decision about like what I want to buy, because if I was just buying everything I saw in the moment, I would lose all my money, because I would be buying absolutely everything. And then sometimes another thing too, for me, again, as someone who goes to a lot of shows, I sometimes specifically seek out things that like, oh, what can I only possibly get at a convention? Um,
Yes.
because
Thank you.
sometimes there'll be a lot of merchandise that you can buy, but is it exclusive to the show, or is this something that you could buy elsewhere? And I think
Mhm.
that's another factor that goes into how you want to spend your money at a show.
I want to ask you this because I asked Illianna this as well. What is your hydration situation? What is your preferred way, your preferred vessel to get as much water into your body as possible?
I carry a huge like thermos with me, and or like water bottle, and I keep it in my bag, and I try to make sure that that thing is filled every single just all the time, making sure that it's completely full, because you definitely need to stay hydrated at those kind of shows. And I definitely think taking a water bottle with you is the best route to go. I actually think most people do that. I actually don't know. If you're someone who like doesn't do that and but buys water, let me know. I'm curious, because I do think that at this point a lot of people do bring just like water bottles that they can fill up at any like water fountain, or even like those little machines that spray water. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I know, the water bottle machines, because a lot of
Yeah.
the shows that we go to for Repop have those in the convention center, which is so great. Okay,
Mhm.
talked about water. I also would love to know, what is your best advice for people on where to get food? If we're gonna be there all day, we have to at least eat lunch. Are you pro eating at the convention center, leaving the convention center, bringing all your food with you? What do you think?
I have always been a fan of getting out of the immediate convention center area. I know that sometimes, especially if you're someone who has a very packed schedule, who wants to take in everything as much as possible, sometimes leaving that immediate area is just too tough because there's all of the crowds, there's the lines. You don't really know that even if you leave the convention center, if the place that you want to go eat has a short line, and that might eat into the time that you want to go and do something else. So sometimes in that case, it's easiest to eat at the convention center. But for me personally, I always like to take the time to just kind of go outside of the immediate convention center area and try and find a restaurant or like a food place or something like that, that just I can get food quickly because waiting in lines, when you're waiting in line all day, the last thing you want to do is wait in line when you're incredibly hungry. So if you can just try to get something that's a little bit quicker, that would be my recommendation for sure. Also, if it's possible, maybe like Uber Eats it. I don't know.
That's a pro tip. That's like a convention veteran right there. That is a pro tip from Veronica. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming here and illuminating us. Before I let you go, it's okay if we don't know all the times and dates. Can you let everybody know some of the incredible things that you are going to be up to these days, what you're doing right now at Emerald City Comic Con, and where people can follow you on social media so that they can see all these incredible things?
Of course. So, as you all know, Popverse is going to be at Emerald City Comic Con doing some really cool things that weekend. For me personally, some of the things that I'm very excited about is moderating the Scream original cast panel that'll be happening on Friday. And then there's also the Mark Ruffalo spotlight panel that's happening on Sunday that I'm really looking forward to. And the exact times and everything can be found at the link that is right there on the screen.
Hey.
And then other than that, we're going to be going around and just filming a lot of cool stuff. I'm really excited to see the exhibit hall and all the cool merchandise, and just being back in Seattle, in the heart of Seattle, with like talking about food, some of the best food. I'm ready for it. I'm so excited for Emerald City. And in terms of social media, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at it's me, Veronica_V.
Yay. Thank you so much, Veronica, for joining us again here in the Popverse. I can't believe how much you and I are sweating right now in Seattle. And we will see you here very soon.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Friends, how incredible was that? Veronica is a genius and plans her conventions like no other that I know. And I'm really excited to tease a little bit about our panel that's coming up tonight, our trivia contest that I am going to be co-hosting. I can't do this alone, of course. So I am bringing in the genius, the madman, the overlord himself who helped us plan the whole panel. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Jeremy Ross. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Ashley. Excited to
How
be
are
here.
you doing today?
Very well. Really excited to have Emerald City going again, and to be bringing this new trivia thing to the Popverse.
So not only are you our trivia expert, but you are a really important part of the Popverse cog and the Read Pop machine. I don't know if that metaphor worked. Can you let everybody watching know what is it that you do day to day and what is your area of expertise in the Popverse?
Sure. So I am the Popverse marketing manager. I also work on a bunch of other stuff across all of the different Repop properties. But so I'm working on social media, I'm working on email, and I'm trying to come up with content that is fun for us internally, that we are excited to create, and it will be exciting for fans and the kind of thing people are like jazzed to talk about and own and experience.
So you are our resident trivia expert, and this event that is happening when this episode airs tonight at 6:45 p.m. This is kind of been one of your pet projects for Emerald City Comic Con. So I want to know, like, what is your history with trivia? Are you a competitive trivia player? Why do you love it so much?
Oh, that's a good question. I was worried about how to explain this. I do really love trivia. Pre-pandemic, one of my most favorite things to do would be to like go out and do bar trivia with my friends. I was a proud member of a trivia team called the Rumble Ponies. Like, shout out Rumble Ponies if anyone's watching. And we we were pretty good. We won our bar on a regular basis. City finals didn't go great for us, but it was like a competitive, fun thing to do. I really like trivia. I am not an overly competitive person in general. Trivia, if I like coming in second in trivia doesn't do anything for me. Like unless I win, it's a wash. But that does make losing and like clearly not being in a position to win, it becomes a more enjoyable experience. So I'm not like a science guy. I'm not a math guy. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm really bad at music, which makes it sound like I'm not good at trivia, but I promise I'm pretty good at trivia.
So you're good at factoids. You're good at specifics.
I'm good at factoids and specifics, yes.
And I think if anyone can look at the wall behind you, they can tell that you're probably good at comics as well.
I am pretty good at comics.
So when you are approaching, like you come from competitive, semi-competitive bar trivia, how do you approach marrying that and that format with what happens at a comic book convention?
I think one of the things that makes sense to me for doing this as Popverse is that everyone who works on the Popverse team is like very into this stuff. Like everyone's really smart. Everyone has like a very deep well of knowledge to draw from. And while we have not played trivia together before, I suspect in certain areas we would be quite a formidable team. And I think that is something that is true for all con goers. Mm-hmm. Like there are very few people who attend a con who aren't like super into their things. So what we are hoping to do is, and it's a good challenge, is put together an experience that kind of covers what everyone is into, and ask questions where maybe no one will know the answers to everything, but it'll feel like all of the answers are on the edges of people's brains somewhere, and it should be a fun, competitive experience. I hope. So
you and I have collaborated writing the questions, TBD, because you're the savant on what the final questions will be, which is going to be a nice surprise for me as well. How do you balance when you are trying to gamify this stuff that most people will know and stuff that's a little bit challenging?
It's hard. I shared this with you already. I'm not ashamed to share it with the audience. The questions you wrote, I didn't know the answers to any of them.
Yeah, I was mean.
Yeah, so you wrote and accepted. That's the weird thing about trivia. You either know it or you don't. There's either something like it's, and you can write a question to kind of include clues in a question where even if you don't have it as a slam dunk, you can puzzle it out. That's something I'm working on. So I think there is, hopefully we do a good job. I'm asking around and having some other people review it. I want everyone to have fun. And I think the real trick is getting the little hooks into a question where even if you don't know it totally, you can kind of puzzle it through with the smaller clues, a la our friends over at Jeopardy and the things they've taught us.
Wait, so are we going to see you on Jeopardy someday?
Well, I did one Jeopardy quiz to apply, and I did pretty well. But then I went on the Jeopardy subreddit, and everyone did really well. So it was just like it was a simple Jeopardy application test that time, and I never went back because there was a pandemic and I looked at something else.
That's fair. That's very fair. I would love for you, if anybody is watching this and they're considering coming, but maybe they've never done trivia or they've never done trivia at an event like this before and they're nervous and maybe they don't think they're up to snuff. Can you give them some words of encouragement and let them know why they should consider checking out our panel?
Sure. Please don't let my competitive nature turn anyone off from this. We were asking questions about a wide variety of things. I didn't know many of the answers. This is a group activity, so like if you are coming on your own, we are going to encourage people to play together. If you are with a group of people, you can play with your friends. This is not about what one person knows. It's about what you can work together with the people who are on your team to play with. There's going to be songs, there's going to be pictures, there's going to be jokes. So I think it'll be a good time. I don't think anyone is going to get 100% on the questions that we're asking. And it should be a good time.
And can we also tease for people that if this goes well and we all have a nice time, that we will be doing this at future conventions?
Sure, that's not what I thought you were going to say, but we do hope this goes well. I do hope, and I think one of the things that I kind of bring to Popverse is the idea that if we are excited about something, like other people are going to be excited about it also. I hope this is something we get to continue to do, and it should be a good time. It's after the show floor closes, so if you come for a day and you're ready to keep going after the show floor closes, there will be more things to do, so you won't have to worry about missing a million other panels to come hang out with us. Hopefully we'll get to replicate this all over the globe. What I did think you were going to say is that there's going to be prizes.
Yes, I was gonna be like, one, for my own edification, what did you think I was going to say? And then two, since you read my mind, do you want to talk about the prizes?
Sure. So there's going to be all different kinds of stuff. We're going to have show exclusive merch to give away. We'll do some gift cards. We'll do some memberships. We'll do some comics. So I think we're hoping that almost everyone can take something away, and you'll have something to show off from being a clever nerd.
Jeremy Ross, our trivia savant and marketing guru, thank you so much for joining us in the Popverse today. Can you let everybody know where they can follow you online and maybe, I don't know, challenge you to a trivia battle?
Sure. I am JRMYRSS basically everywhere. There are thousands of Jeremy Rosses, but I'm the only one without any vowels. So I'm accepting challenges.
Yay. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me.
All right, dear friends, thank you so much for joining us for Enter the Popverse episode 4, breaking down everything you need to know about how to have the best Emerald City Comic-Con possible. Right now, as you are watching this, we are live at Emerald City Comic-Con, hosting panels, throwing events, making this experience as amazing for you as possible. So if you are there, be sure to say hi to everyone you have seen on Enter the Popverse over the next few days, because we are out here in these convention streets. Links to everything that you need to know from this episode are, as always, down in the description of this video for your future reference. And the Popverse is a virtual realm created by ReadPop, where we are celebrating the best in TV, movies, and comics here and in person. You can find everything at thepopverse.com. And for the full convention experience, be sure that you get yourself a Popverse membership. And don't forget, live right now at Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle. Subscribe to this channel if you want to never miss an episode of Enter the Popverse. Click that bell so you see everything that we are releasing here all day, every day. I have been your host, Ashley Victoria Robinson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley V. Robinson, and I will see you next time.